Hi, I'm Marion Skeete. I'm a certified professional life coach, author, and an inspirational speaker, helping you to discover the DNA of God within you. Once you unlock your genetic code, meaning your highest potentials, it will not only help you to find purpose and meaning in your life, but you can become a force for good in the world.
We're so glad to have Marion Skeete here with us today. My goodness, what an amazing lady. Marion, welcome. Thank you for being here. Marion, the message about discovering our potential and becoming a success is a dime a dozen in our society. What defines your message of success?
Well, success oftentimes when you hear it being taught or, someone is speaking about it, and it's oftentimes very good and very inspirational, but it presupposes that life goes well. It presupposes that everything kind of lines up. And once you follow these 7 principles, then everything will go well for you. My message of success is when life happens. When a loved one dies, maybe you're afflicted with a terminal illness, something doesn't go right in your life. I believe the success that we find is from ground zero, meaning that when you learn how to thrive in the midst of difficulty, I believe you really learn the secret of what living is. In fact, I believe that failure is the greatest teacher. Oftentimes we believe that if we just do the right things, we will make it. But I find that sometimes making the mistakes, and it's not that we intentionally try to make mistakes, but it's in the grunge of life, it's in the struggles of life that we find true success. In other words, we enjoy the sunny days because we have learned how to live through the rain.
Obviously, the work that you do, whether it be in the religious setting or in the non-religious setting, your Christian faith somehow informs it. But how do you deal with the questions that the Christian faith or Bible doesn't seem to answer?
Faith is only faith if there is doubt. We only learn to live in faith when we understand that doubt is present in us. In other words, the way I look at it, how can we fully understand a God who created the billions and billions of galaxies? They say it's over 100 billion galaxies, of which Earth is just a part of one galaxy. How can we get our minds or our brains around such an intelligent being? And the symmetry of the Earth and the universe is amazing. I have come to realize my finiteness, my finitude. And so having questions is a part of what it means to be human. It's a part of what it means to actually serve or worship a God who's much bigger than I am. So I don't feel like I have to answer the questions all the time. I simply have to stay in the struggle of finding out more and more about this God who is bigger than I am.
Marion, we are living in an increasingly tense world. Whether it's racial tension or religious tension, how do we do more than just get along? How do we become agents of change?
I'm a certified mediator, and one of the things we have learned is that there are different styles or ways in which we handle conflict. And I'm only going to say 3 for the sake of time. There is avoiding conflict, avoidance. And oftentimes that's not a good way to handle conflicts, but sometimes it's necessary. If someone pulls a gun on you, you might want to avoid it. You might not want to talk back to that person. And there's also compromise, which is usually the way we go or the way we think about dealing with conflict. That means you have your half and I have my half. And oftentimes you would think that works, but it leaves people with a sense of I didn't really get what I wanted. But sometimes that's the only way to really solve the issue. But what oftentimes we believe as mediators or people who help to resolve conflict is that one of the best ways or the best way in an ideal situation is collaboration. In other words, we come together for the common good and we seek to work together towards a solution. And so it has this collaborative, consensus building kind of effect. And of course, that doesn't always work in every setting, but I believe that it is one of the best ways to resolve racial tensions, to resolve even religious tensions. For instance, Muslims and Christians might decide that they want to see less crime in their community. It doesn't mean that they have to agree with each other in terms of where they stand with their religious beliefs and their doctrines and that kind of thing. But they can agree that we want to live in a society that's peaceful. So they come together to work on a community event that builds and creates spaces for peace. So here again, we collaborate with people that we may disagree with, but we find common ground. And so we have to learn how to find ways to resolve conflict that is appropriate for the particular situation.
Marion, you often speak about visionary leadership. How does visionary leadership benefit an organization?
The word vision really means insight, eyes. So I believe a visionary leader provides the eyes for people to see into their future. And it's not that that leader has to tell people exactly what they are to be or to become, but they provide, in a sense, a guidepost for people. They provide a way that people can see who they can become. And so visionary leaders are not dictators. They are simply guides, I believe. And so visionary leadership is important because people oftentimes are stuck in their immediate situation. But a visionary leader helps them to see, I can become that. This is my future. And so a visionary leader gives a sense of hope to an organization or to a group of people.